Welcome, readers. Today on Book Chat, we are diving into the topic of fall seasonal reading. We will share a few fall time traditions, readers' react comments, book recommendations, and more. Stay tuned. Today's episode is sponsored by romance title A Passionate Love, written by Delaney Diamond. Simone Brooks and Cameron Bennett should not be together. She is a wealthy socialite looking for a suitable husband, a man with the right pedigree and an economic status to match her own. He's a part owner of the hottest nightclub in Atlanta with his siblings, someone who loves cooking, the outdoors, and women, not necessarily in that order. After one night together, their sizzling chemistry makes it difficult to stay away. Then comes the hard part, navigating their differences to salvage a relationship that, while it may be imperfect, it overflows with love and passion. A Passionate Love is available now. Go ahead and pick up your copy wherever books and audiobooks are sold. Hear the audiobook sample on shelfaddiction.com or by visiting DelaneyDiamond.com to learn more. Links are in the show notes. Hey everyone, I'm your host, Tamara Ford, and welcome to Book Chat here on the Shelf Addiction Podcast. Participate in this discussion by joining the Facebook group Shelf Addiction Official. I hope to hear your thoughts on today's topic. You can always find me and Casey on Twitter and Instagram. The links for everything I've mentioned are below in the show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, please support this podcast by sharing it with some book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. That would really help me out, and I appreciate you for doing so. The uncut video version of this podcast is available now on Patreon. Join us there for exclusive videos, including after shows and more. So if you're interested in that at all, you'll need to come on over to Patreon and sign up. Without further ado, let's get started. Joining me is feature co-host Casey from Heartful of Ink. Welcome back, Casey.
Hello, hello. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay, I'm glad you're here because this is one of my favorite things to talk about, only because I love this time of year. So today we're going to talk about reading by season, fall time traditions, cozy reading spaces. I have a couple of book recommendations at the end, and whatever else floats our boat that pertains to fall and, all the fun things that are included with that. So
oh, yes.
I'm excited. And we do have a couple
so
readers react as well at the end, so stay tuned for that at the end, guys. Let's talk fall. I love this time of year.
It's fall. The leaves are changing. I finally live in a place where I see the leaves changing. Because I grew up in Florida, so it's just green and then brown and then green again. There was no fall in Florida.
Oh my gosh. Oh, in Michigan, that's like the thing. People, all they talk about are the changing of the colors and when's the best time to see it. And it's like a thing. It's a pastime. Let me go and look at all of the trees.
If it wasn't COVID time, I would absolutely plan a trip up to Michigan right now just to see the changing because
See, I'm going to do something fun for you guys. So for you guys that are on Patreon, you're going to be able to see all the trees from my front door. I'm going to show you on my security device because it's amazing. It shocks me how beautiful it is because I'm just looking, I just always look at the camera in the morning and I'm like, you can actually see several colors of trees right from my front door. You can see red and green and
it's so pretty.
And yellow.
Oh my God.
Can you see it?
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy? And that's from my front door. Just imagine when you go all the way outside. Orange, red, greens, yellows, browns. That's fall in Michigan, man. That's fall in Michigan. It's great.
Yeah, Florida doesn't get that. Florida's just green. And then it's brown and dead for a month. And then it's green again. Yay!
But I gotta admit, the one downside is, though, I just remember being a kid in my mom's yard. She had tons of trees. Man, it would be torture. Go out there and break the leaves. Why? No, can't you just hire somebody? No, get out there and break the leaves.
You're the free labor. She doesn't need to hire anybody for that.
Exactly. But now it's my own yard, and I'm like, God damn the leaves. it's like you have to do it by a certain time. So even if you wait until everything drops onto the ground, you still have to get it up before the trash people stop picking up yard waste. So it's like, oh, I just want to cry like a kid again.
Yay, childhood!
Yay! But other than that downside, I mean, honestly, there's only bonuses in the fall. Like, I have like a bunch of fall traditions that I started with my nieces and nephews when they were younger. And I just love it. Like, we always went to the apple orchard every year because, you know, apple orchards are the thing in Michigan. You must go pick some apples, pick some other fruit. And while you're there, you get like some nice warm cider, freshly made. Freshly fried donuts. Oh,
okay, COVID is gone. I'm coming to see you in Michigan next fall. Like, 2021.
You're gonna be in love. You're gonna be like, I don't want to leave here. It's great. It's like on the Hallmark Channel.
Oh my God, love it.
Yeah, I love that stuff, and hay rides and like bonfires because it's cool. It's because, you know, we have a nice chilly bite in the evening. So yes. All the things. I love it.
Yeah, no, we just do like a lot of bonfires. My aunt, she lives in Tennessee with me, and her garden club every fall goes and decorates the local college. And so I've been helping her for the last couple of years, and we make scarecrows, but they're like really pretty, happy scarecrows with clothes we found at Goodwill and like cute little buttons for eyes. And like they're very, I have pictures somewhere that I could show you, but we make all these scarecrows and then we decorate the college and we take pictures everywhere. And it's a very Instagrammable thing.
Yeah. Fall is Instagrammable, period.
Fall is Instagrammable, period. Yes. So that's been my biggest tradition, just because I'm so, I don't want to say new to fall, but again, Florida, kind of shit in the fall.
Oh.
I mean, there is always like the stuff you could do, but it's mildly colder than summer. And if you're not near Orlando, you just don't want to deal with like the Universal and Disney scary stuff. And no, I avoided those crowds. So I never did that as a kid either.
You know what? I saw online that they're still doing some kind of like modified version of that in the parks, and people are legit going.
Nope. COVID is real. Please don't go.
Yeah, it shocks me because I'm like, oh my God, all the photos online, all people like, hey, I took my kids to Disney during a pandemic. Woo!
Oh no!
But that's another conversation. They need to come somewhere else and be in the wilderness where there's not a lot of people. Yeah. And, you know, but that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, I love all things fall, including like, on the blog recently, I had like kind of mentioned some cozy spots around my house that I like to read and do chill at, you know, during this time. Like, oh my God, like nothing beats like a really full made bed with lots of blankets and covers and pillows and just snuggling in there with my cup of tea or whatever.
Oh, yes. Oh, no. At that point, I have a cup of hot chocolate with Bailey's in it.
Oh, yes.
And that is just like, chef's kiss perfection.
Oh, sounds amazing. I want some. I want some right now, actually. Oh, my gosh. Well, I also like, have you ever, so I hope I'm not saying it wrong, because when I was in Germany, I spent some time in Germany. We would go and like to these markets, these open air markets, and drink like Glühwein, which is warm wine. It's so amazing. I haven't
had it, but
it's perfect in the fall and winter. I haven't figured out how to do it myself because I know it's more than just warming wine. I think it might even be mulled or something. You know what I mean? It's something different about it. But I love this stuff. It's amazing.
So last year, and this was around Christmas time, so still technically fall, but last year I found this recipe on Pinterest that was hot chocolate with red wine.
Mm.
And I tried to make it and I completely failed. I fucked it up. It was so bad. But I want to try that again this year and see if I can figure out how to make hot chocolate with red wine.
I think it could be good.
Baileys.
I think it could. Yeah. Because I actually tasted some at a wine tasting that was sold, like it said, like chocolate wine or something.
Yeah. I've had chocolate wine before, which is really good. But this was the recipe. I fucked it up so bad. We poured the whole thing down the drain.
You're like hashtag fail.
Hashtag nailed it.
Right. Totally nailed that one.
Totally nailed it.
Oh, that is hilarious. Oh my God. But I hope you do try it again this year.
I will. Yeah. And I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. Because if it turns out good, I'm going to need that recipe.
Yes.
All the things. So, I mean, you guys, tell us what your fall traditions are. What you love doing in the fall. We want to know what else people love doing, like across the country and across the world. Because I know for some people,
will argue.
Yeah, I know sometimes this time of year for some people it's summer. So you'll have to think of a different time of year. But for us in the US, in the northern hemisphere, it's fall. So yes. And you know what else I love? I love reading books that make me feel like I'm in the season.
Oh, yes.
Just like watching TV, like sometimes I watch a lot more horror right now. I'm watching a lot more things that scare me, and stuff comes out this time of year like on purpose.
Oh yeah. They know to theme it. They know this is Halloween time and this is when they can play all their Halloween movies.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel the same. It's 90 degrees and you have, what I'm saying? It's sunny until 10 p.m. and you're trying to watch, something scary. It just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't.
So that is basically what seasonal reading is. Let me tell you it. Let's talk about what seasonal reading is, because I've gotten a comment here or there that makes me feel like not everyone understands what seasonal reading is. So let us hook you up. We'll hook you up. Okay, Casey, what do you think seasonal reading is?
So seasonal reading is reading themed books around the season you are currently experiencing. As in, it is fall, so you read fall-themed books, like Halloween books or more horror, whereas in the summer, you're probably reading beach reads. In Christmas time or Hanukkah or any holiday, you read a holiday-themed book.
Valentine's Day, you read a bunch of romances.
Oh, that is what Valentine's Day themed books.
Yes. That is seasonal reading, guys. So I think a lot of us already do that without actually putting a label on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And you see all these book lists out. 10 spooky books to read in October, or, 20 books to read, 20 thrillers for this fall. That's seasonal reading as well.
Yep.
So yes, I do it. I don't really do it for summer though. I don't know. For some reason, beach reads don't really settle with me all the way.
Not the way that the publishers traditionally label them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a romance girl through and through, so I'm reading romances all the time, year long. And publishers are like, oh yeah, these are beach reads. And I'm like, you can just call them a romance. Like, it doesn't have to be a beach read.
Well, sometimes they're like summer romances, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's the plot device. This is a summer romance.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
But that's I feel like that's more for kids, because you have the summer and then you go back to where you came. Or maybe vacation romances or something.
Yes.
Vacation like Stella romances. Got her groove back or something.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
And then sometimes sometimes authors will be like, okay, we're going on vacation, and oh no, there's a hurricane. I'm like, this is not how this works at all. Please stop. Please stop.
You're like, no.
No, you're not going to get stranded on this island alone with just the two of you during a hurricane. That's not how this works.
They tried it.
It's not. No. Just stop.
Well, in the winter, I believe it more. Like if they end up being stranded because of a blizzard or something.
Yes. Yes, I would believe that more than a freaking hurricane.
Yes.
Which also, it's still hurricane season in the fall.
Yeah, it is.
Delta is hitting today or yesterday or something, and there's more hurricanes, and hurricane season ends like in November.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It does not have to be a summer read. But every book is like, oh, it's summer, hurricanes. And I'm like, yeah, no. Give me one in November.
No. Yeah. Hurricanes are real. And I mean, actually, it makes like it actually affects all the states in that like route
region. Mm-hmm.
So like, how they always show on the news channel, the guy standing there, he's like, oh, the winds go this way and pushes that way and the highs and the lows. And so we feel that stuff up here in Michigan sometimes.
Oh yeah. It's raining today, and I'm pretty sure it's rain from Delta.
Yeah.
Here in Tennessee, we're getting hurricane rain. Yay!
Well, it's a cloudy day today. Who knows what we're going to get? I don't know. Maybe nothing, maybe something. You never can tell. The boo hurricanes, but global warming, and that is another conversation for another time.
Global warming is real.
It is, just saying. Yeah. So lately I've been reading like more thrillers than normal. I mentioned in my last podcast when I reviewed a book from Audible, it's an Audible exclusive. I found that they released a bunch of thrillers, like short story thrillers, like included in the Audible membership. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to listen to that and listen to that. And I love it because it's like what I call snack size. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can just try a bunch of different authors, get a flavor of things and not have to waste, 10 hours on something.
That reminds me, when I was a kid, they had those scary stories. It was like a black and white book, and there would be like 13 short, scary stories in there. Those things scared the shit out of me.
Actually, I did list that first book on the blog as like creepy covers because it was creepy. It had the head on it. With
it's creepy as fuck.
Yeah. They made a movie or something. I was
thinking they did. I avoided the hell out of it. I was like, nope. I was traumatized as a kid.
The commercial looked creepy, so I didn't bother watching it though. But I did start like in that vein of like horror movies and stuff. Yeah. I did start the second. What is it called? You know how they did The Haunting of Hill House last year? It's like The Haunting of Bly Manor this year. The first episode, and I'm like, God damn it, ghost! Fucking ghost! I'm like, here we go. Like, settle your ass for a ride because it's going to be crazy. I can tell already. One episode in.
Yep.
I love it.
Horror-wise, I can watch Supernatural, and that's about it. Like anything else, I'm too damn scared. And I've watched Supernatural so many times. I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't scary anymore. I know when it's going to jump out, so I can just look at my phone.
Oh, that is so funny. You're like, no, I know it's coming. I'll just look away.
Look away. Dean will kill it. I'm good.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, so... Well, along with horror, if horror isn't your cup of tea, like a lot of people read more mysteries and thrillers right now as well. Like I said, with the mysteries and thrillers on Audible, it's a good time to try some stuff on for size and maybe even if you're not into it, try it out.
Yeah, no, I need a list of thrillers from you.
Oh, I have a list coming.
Yes.
On my blog. this month, because I have committed for some crazy reason, I've committed to do Blogtober because I feel like my blog has been neglected. So during this month, I've been posting not always book stuff. Like I shared about my Tesla. I shared about some ramen noodles that I had that were scary as fuck to eat. Okay.
Why were they scary?
Because they were Korean noodles. You know how the Koreans on TV, on YouTube, always eat these super hot nuclear noodles. So I saw some when I went to get bubble tea the other day. Like this place was selling them, and I'm like, well, I've always wanted to try them. Okay, I'll get a couple flavors. And so I'm like, okay, I'll make it because I have kind of what I consider a pretty good tolerance for spice. One bite, took a breath, my fucking mouth was on fire. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Because, I'm thinking, but it smelled strong. It had that deep red. It looked kind of scary. I'm like, it should be okay. But by the end of that, I felt like I was breathing fire. And then it was so bad, I swear, I went to my refrigerator, chopped up like some bell peppers and got some ranch. And I sat there with the ranch and the bell peppers. And after 3 or 4 bites of that, my mouth had cooled down from the ranch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
just drink the bottle of ranch.
I wanted to do that, but I'm like, I'm adult. I need to have some vegetables. So it looked scary, but it was scary.
Yeah, that sounds very scary.
And then of course all the themey things for fall and Halloween and stuff.
Yeah.
But I have a mix of stuff. So yeah. So anyway, on the blog, I will be having a list of thrillers and mysteries that I've read this year that I would recommend. So definitely check that out. I don't know what date it's coming out, so you should just follow me. Y'all follow me. Well, we know Casey. We follow each other.
I do.
Everybody else, follow me. Everybody else, so that you can see the list too.
Yes, and see other cool bookish stuff too. It's not just the list. You get lots of good things from following you.
Yeah, I do like to share articles and listicles and all that fun stuff.
So I have a question.
Yeah,
I know we both read a lot of paranormal. Do you find yourself reading more paranormal around Halloween or less because you're into the thrillers?
Less. But I find myself reading more with, I guess, intent of let me read about witches specifically. Or let me read about, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just vampires. Because I'm like, I read that all year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't read a lot of stuff about witches until around this time of year for some reason.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And it's not on purpose. It just kind of happens. I don't know. But I do spend more time on darker thrillers and horror this time of year. Because even though I read thriller all year, sometimes it's so predictable in husband-wife drama.
Yeah.
It's not really, it's not like serial killer. Because, there's different level of thrillers. So, So do you read anything scary? I know you like romance, but do you try to adjust?
Every once in a while, I'll try a thriller. And usually it's just not, I don't like the way it's written. Because I usually find the ones by men that are being recommended the most. And I typically don't like male authors. That is a very long, nuanced conversation to have. But I've never read Stephen King because I tried one of his books and I barely got past page 1 because I just hated the style of writing.
Yikes.
And I don't even remember what book it was. It was years ago. I was like, oh, okay, I have to read a Stephen King. Picked up a book, hated page 1. I just hated the style and never went back to it. So I will read a bit more paranormally stuff. I read witches year round, but I know some authors, I want to say Kristen Painter has a Halloween Town series. Maybe Dakota Cassidy too. And so they really cute, almost cozy mysteries, but paranormal, Halloween themed. And they're just cute little sweet bite-sized, the fun-sized candy bars.
Yeah.
And you're just yay, fun, sweet, romance, Halloween.
Yeah.
never like super scary, but you're still getting that pumpkin flavor.
That reminds me
makes
of,
sense.
Like, it's like magical realism books, like where they're witches, but they're good witches in regular towns, and they do love potions. And
yeah, no, there's some of that. There's some of that. But it just gives you that cozy feeling, like you're wrapped in that
Hallmark vibe.
Yes, it's a Hallmark Halloween vibe, and it's just fantastic. So I read a lot more of that.
Well, that's so cute. So, like, you've got the Hallmark vibe, and I've got, like, the Nightmare on Elm Street vibe.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I know Harlequin, like, the Harlequin silhouettes, every once in a while, they'll have some Halloween-themed stuff. Or, I know Tiffany Rice had a Thanksgiving-themed book.
Okay.
That was super cute. You know, it's all about the fall and making Thanksgiving dinner. I completely blanked on that word for a second.
Fun. I've seen some books that are like Thanksgiving themed.
Yes, they're very rare, but you know, I'm not a huge Thanksgiving person myself. I don't like the holiday.
You don't?
I don't.
I think I used to love it more when most of my, family lived here, but now that they don't, I'm kind of like, meh. If I can get out of cooking for Thanksgiving, I'm happy for it. But it used to be this whole thing, but now, my immediate family don't live here, so whatever.
Yeah, I feel very whatever about it. I don't care about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Give me Halloween. Give me a month of just like cozy reading for Christmas and holidays. Like, just put me in a corner with a fuzzy blanket and a stack of books, and I'm happy. Like, that's all I need for December.
I'm totally on board with you with like the Hallmark Christmas themes, because I be watching the dang on Lifetime and Hallmark channels.
Oh, my God.
I watch all that stuff like the whole month of December. I'm watching all these silly ass movies with couples that hook up at a lodge or wherever, and I love it. It's great.
Yes, yes, it is. Oh my God, it's so cute.
Yeah, it's so fantasy, and it's like that never happens. So, and then I like those books too. So it's like, it's so cute. It make you feel good, and
yes, you need the feel good, happy.
Yeah,
you need that. And every once in a while, like I'm still reading paranormal romances, so I'll be like, all right, bloody, violent vampires killing things. Woo!
Yeah.
Christmas time. Yay!
Yes. Or, they have sometimes they do the Christmas novellas in some of those series where it's still blood and guts and vampires, but it's during the holidays.
Janine Frost does that.
She does.
Yep. She does it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun times, man. I love it. I love seasonal reading. It's
fantastic.
Agrees with me. Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, you keep reading your other stuff during that time. Like me, I can't just drop everything and only read that, because then I'll be like, ugh, I'm over it.
Yeah, then you OD on it and you're like, too much sugar, too much Hallmark.
Yes.
Give me the bloody vampires. Like,
there is a such thing as too much Hallmark.
There is. As much as I love it and binge on it, like, 3 days or 4 days straight, I'm like, okay, I need something new. Give me an episode of Supernatural. Give me a violent book. Give me something else.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back to it, because, 'tis the season.
Yeah, got that right. Oh my goodness. Well, I think actually this would be a great time to take a break. And then when we come back, I guess I can share some of my recommendations. And what else can we do?
We have the Readers React.
The Readers React. See how quick I forget about that? Shame.
Don't forget about our readers.
No. Okay, guys, stay with us. We'll be right back. Today's episode is sponsored in part by Audiobooks.com. Audiobooks.com now has 175,000 titles and 1.2 million podcasts. New customers get 3 free audiobooks comprised of 1 premium credit and 2 VIP titles. Use our promo code Shelf Addiction, spelled as one word, when you sign up at Audiobooks.com. Again, our promo code is Shelf Addiction, spelled as one word. All right, welcome back, guys. We are going to jump right into some book recommendations. And of course, I love a series. So 2 of these are series. Well, technically 3, but not really. So I'll explain that as I get to it. So I try to pick things that I think a few different types of readers would enjoy. So, it's not all horror or thriller. I have some mixed things in there. So earlier I mentioned that I like, things witchy, which I do. And so I'm going to recommend the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness. It was very, very good. The first book, I was kind of shaky on the hero because he's very... He's a
vampire, right?
He's a vampire, yes. So he's a vampire and the heroine is a witch, a very strong witch. And he's very protect her. You can't do anything. I'm strong. That whole bullshit. But but soon he learns that, wow, Diana is very powerful. Maybe she doesn't need me.
Oh, good.
So it becomes much more of a balanced relationship. But you've got so many supernatural things going on. Discovery of witches is the first book. So it's a lot of cool things going on. And of course, it just feels like fall in that book. It's cold. It's dark a lot of the time. It just has those vibes that make me want to pull that trilogy out literally every year I want to. So definitely good.
Okay.
So if you're not feeling, the witches and the vampires, you might want a little zombies in your life. And this is like not the fake pretend zombies. Like this is like the world is going to come for you zombies. Like they will eat you and you will regret it. This is World War Z by Max Brooks. This is like, and they made a movie based on that.
I watched the movie. I haven't read the book though.
Yeah, so it's like literally a virus.
Oh shit!
That takes over, and fucking people turn into, for lack of a better word, zombies. So this is very, very good.
Maybe not read that in 2020.
Well, I watched the movie like earlier this summer, and I'm like, shit. But if you watch The Walking Dead like I do, you should feel good about life because you know how to kill things. So there's that.
Got my machete, got my axe.
Yes. And World War Z isn't that long of a read, so it's enjoyable. I liked it. It was good.
Well, that's good.
So swinging a little bit away from that, but also staying in the horror realm, but it's very not zombies and witches, is Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. Now, this one I am not finished with yet, and I'm recommending it anyway because I'm enjoying it so much. And it may or may not be an upcoming buddy read. So you'll find out shortly. So if you're interested in this at all, you might want to grab it. I'm just saying maybe.
I might try it. Like I said, I gave up on Stephen King a long time ago.
It's definitely different. So this does have ghosts in it, but it has also people who have these abilities that like The Shining. So this is what I mean by it's not a series, but it is. So this is technically the second book of The Shining, but you do not need to read The Shining to read this. This is different enough, and even people have said that the writing style and how this is presented is different enough, very different from The Shining, which was done in 1978 or something like that, 1970 or something, back long time ago.
Yeah.
So the kid, there's a kid in this story, and there's a couple other people that have this ability. And so when ghosts come, it's like they want to feed off you or something, but you have a trick up your sleeve you can use. And they run bloody murder. They run for their ghostly lives. And there's some other things going on with people that have abilities to make people sleep and do all these other things. So it definitely freaks me out a little bit. So this is a book that I read like when I first wake up. Yeah, girl. When I first wake up, I'll read a little bit of it, maybe an hour and a half. And then I just move on with my day. So, I mean, for me, because I'm sensitive to ghosts, which I think I've talked about on the show before, I won't binge this. And it's pretty long. Yeah. It's pretty long. It's like a thick book. It's a brick.
Damn.
And if you listen on audiobook, I think it's like 19 hours. But it's good, y'all. It's good. So, there's that. Okay. Right. Now, we're going to switch gears. We're going to do something that is not ghostly or magic or whatever. This is another series. It's called Stillhouse Lake series by Rachel Kane. And she is known
I love Rachel Kane.
Yeah. But this is like completely regular thriller. Like, this woman's husband. So the first book is called Stillhouse Lake. And, that's just the series name going forward. But this woman finds out. Like, and I feel bad for the woman, and then I also feel like you're a dummy. Her husband was a serial killer, and she didn't even know it. So she comes home. I'm just going to give a little teeny spoiler. It's like it happens real early in the first book. She comes home, and there are police all over the place. Turns out he has a garage that she never was allowed to go in. Red flag number one.
Yeah.
So anyway, dude is a serial killer. He goes to jail. But of course, people think you must have known, you must have been in on it. So of course she has like running and hiding because she can't live a normal life. And it just goes off from there. And it gets really creepy. Is her husband trying to get it back at her? Is he trying to send his followers after her? What's up? Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. And I think the fourth book came out earlier this year. So it's very, very good. And it's normal stuff. It's serial killer stuff, but it's real life serial killer stuff. And then my last recommendation is No Exit by Taylor Adams. And if you guys want to hear the discussion on that, it's actually on the podcast. I think it was July of last year. So it's been a while since I read it. But man, that has stuck with me. Imagine this young girl goes in a blizzard. She's driving in a blizzard. Her mother is ill, about to have surgery. She's trying to get to her mother. The blizzard is too heavy. She can't continue driving. She pulls off onto a rest stop. She gets out of her car and she parks next to a van, and she thinks she sees a little hand in the van.
Fucking shit.
Right. But she's like, did I not? Let's go in the rest stop. And there are several interesting people in the rest stop. Let's just say that. And she is there trying to figure out what's what. And it goes off from there.
Oh, shit.
But it's freaking good. It's like, it even got me a couple times. I'm like, whoa.
That sounds like another one that I would have to read in the morning when I first wake up, and then go about my day and try not to have nightmares.
It's real life though. It's like it's not, anything paranormal, but it's very good. So all of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things I recommended. Also is trilogy, obviously series. Stillhouse Lake is a series. Dr. Sleep could be a series depending on how you look at it, but it also can be a standalone. No Exit is a standalone, and World War Z is a standalone. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Yay.
Enjoy.
Yes, enjoy. I will definitely pick some of those up. But quick note, have you heard about Rachel Kane?
No, what about her?
She's in hospice and probably going to pass away soon.
Oh, I did.
So she has cancer. And the treatment stopped working, and so she got moved to hospice. And as far as I know, as of today, October 10th, she's still home and kicking, but it doesn't look good for her. So,
oh man, I'm so sad.
I know.
That's horrible.
I read her vampire series, the Glass House series, back in high school.
Mm-hmm.
It's super YA. Nicola would hate it. Like, if you follow the 3 Bloggers series, Nicola would hate the series. It's so angsty. But, I was a teenager reading it, and I just gobbled it up. And then after a while, I quit too. Because there was like 16 or 17 books, and I think I got to book 12, and I was like, okay, I'm tapping out. Like, there's too much angst, too much drama. I can't do anymore. But I loved it back in the day, and I'm so sad for her and her family, and
I know. That's horrible.
And her fans, and yeah.
But that does make me wonder if, like, on a selfish side note, because I know there's a 5th book coming out in early next year. I wonder if it's done. Like, if it's already in edits.
I think it is.
Okay, because I think this must be
about pre-orders.
Okay.
And stuff.
So like she must have finished it, and hopefully this will be the end of the series then.
Yeah.
Oh, so sad. It's like it's hard to even say that. Like, but what about this book? It's awful. I feel bad for even saying that, but I'm curious.
Yeah, no, I think she's still, at home doing some writing, spending some time with her family.
Aww.
They were talking about pre-orders for the next book. I think it's coming out in March.
Okay.
But yeah, if you love Rachel Caine, send her a note, send her some love.
Hope,
she gets better.
Definitely.
It's really possible, but
well, hopefully she'll be able to enjoy what time she has left with her family on her own terms.
Yes.
Instead of, being sick with medicine. At least she's got that,
Yep.
Yikes, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, sorry.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, read her books, buy her books, love her, support her. She's an amazing writer, but yeah, don't expect more books after next year.
Yeah. Damn. Oh Lord. Okay, let's change. Let's shift gears.
Yes. Sorry to bring us all down.
Yes. I need some wine. All I have is water. Oh my gosh.
Yes, we need wine or Baileys
with some hot chocolate. And let me just, love my 400 calorie drink.
Just love it. Just enjoy it.
Because that's what it's going to be.
You have to have the little marshmallows on top too. Oh
my gosh. Yes. If you have one of those little torches and you can just crisp them up a little bit.
Yes. Oh my god.
All the things. I love it. Okay. Put the sugary drinks out of your mind and let's do the reader's reaction.
Okay. You go first.
Okay. So we asked, other people, do they read seasonally? We asked you guys, what do you recommend? What do you like to read? And we both, we got a few responses this time. So Jen from Facebook says, I recently read Pumpkinheads, a graphic novel by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks. It's a perfect fall read you can finish in one sitting. So thank you, Jen.
That sounds so cute.
Yeah.
Pumpkinheads?
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
Well, it definitely, I did kind of look at it, and it definitely does have that Rainbow Rowell is a YA writer. Yeah. So it has that YA vibe. But it's
that
cute.
Could be cute. Yeah.
So that might be a way to get something in that's not scary at all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, just like a cute afternoon read. If it's still warm outside, you can go sit outside and think about pumpkins, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so Tina responded to me on Facebook, and she said, I don't do a lot of seasonal reading, but I do have 2 trilogies by Nora Roberts that I love to reread in the fall/winter months. And they are the Cousins O'Dwyer trilogy and the Circle trilogy. Other than that, it's just according to if something pops up with a wintry scene that sounds good. Which I have a confession to make.
Yeah.
I'm the big romance reader, but I don't read a lot of Nora Roberts, so I don't recognize either of these trilogies.
What were the names of them again?
The Cousins O'Dwyer trilogy and the Circle trilogy.
The Circle trilogy. No, I feel like I might have heard about that. But she does have another trilogy that I read and liked a long time ago, and it was about witches. It was.
I know she has done a couple paranormals, so I may spend this fall season reading Nora Roberts and exploring her witchy stuff in these 2 trilogies.
Yeah, it was good. I wish I could remember the name of it. I should look in my Goodreads right quick to see if I can find it.
Yes.
Because it was very good. And also the one series was really good too. But that's not scary. Oh, In the Garden.
Ooh.
In the Garden. That's what it was called. It started with Blue Dahlia, Black Rose, Red Lily. It was very good. I enjoyed them in 2008.
Oh, wow.
Or 2012, excuse me. That's when I enjoyed them.
Okay.
But they were obviously out before 2012. So that gives you a clue of how old they are. But I gave all 3 books 4 stars. So
oh, wow.
That says something.
Wow. I'm going to have to check them out if you love them.
For sure. Well, thanks for the recommendations.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Tina.
All right. So lastly, Arbery from Facebook says, last year in honor of Halloween, I read 5 R.L. Stine Fear Street books, and I wrote a blog post about them. This year, in reading 5 Christopher Pike horror novels and doing the same. If you are unfamiliar, these are all YA horror thriller genres from the late 80s and mid 90s. Okay. Ooh. I personally have not read Christopher Pike, but I remember seeing those books with his name on it.
I had a lot of friends who had read that back when I was a kid, but I'd already found my romance genre at that point. And I was like, I don't need YA books. Give me my adult romance novels.
And R.L. Stine, I did read a handful of those Fear Street books when I was younger, but I'm not even going to tell you how long ago that was. So, 80s and 90s. Okay, obviously she told us. So, but honestly, I don't prefer YA horror right now because I've read quite a few. When I was in my YA phase, I used to read a bunch of YA, older YA. But the horror always felt flat. What was supposed to be scary wasn't scary. It's like the authors really couldn't deliver what I expect from a horror. So I'm I guess I just have to read adult horror. So I don't really mess around with YA horror stuff. It's just not strong enough, for lack of a better thing to sort out.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you, Aubrey, for those recommendations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I love when readers reply, and I love when readers have suggestions for books.
Yes, I always want book recommendations. Give me all the book recommendations.
Yes, because even if they may not be for me, they may be for Casey, or they may be for some of you listening. You may want to check those out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks to the people that participated. And again, we want to hear from you. So follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And you will be able to see when we post our next call for Readers React. And we would love to hear from you.
Yes. Talk to us.
Yes. I would love to have 6 to 7 Readers React.
That would be great.
Yes.
Come on, guys. Come on
to it. Chop, chop. Come on, what else you got to do? You know you on social media anyway. Quit fronting. You know you on there.
Just leave us a 2-second comment.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you can call in if you don't want to type it. You feel free to call in and leave us one, and we can play it here on the show.
Ooh.
which is always fun times. So I think we're done for today. What do you think, Casey?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay, great. I had a great time talking about fall and reading and traditions and just all the things, TVs and movies.
Yes. Such a great time of year. It just makes me happy.
Yes, me too. So I might go outside and enjoy my leaves, my colorful leaves.
Enjoy your leaves
with a glass of red wine.
I'm so jealous.
As I sit with my sweater on my back patio.
So jealous.
I'll take a picture.
Yes. Instagram it.
Yes, indeed. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to talk to us about the topic we talked about today, of course, you can find us both in Shelf Addiction Official in the Facebook group or online, as I just said. So until then, till next time, happy reading. Take care of yourselves.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to show your support, there are a few things you can do. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a positive 5-star review, or like this episode on your favorite podcast player. It seems so simple, but it really helps me out. You can share this podcast with other book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. You can also join the Shelf Addiction Patreon family. For as little as $2 a month, you will help us produce even more awesome content for your ears. You can also consider joining the Shelf Addiction Official Facebook group, where we talk all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction Podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. You can also reach us via email at info@shelfaddiction.com. Thank you for listening.